Okay, everyone. Suyash and I are live today after a long time. I think Suyash and I have come live, and we'd initially thought we'll come and talk about the importance of supplements. And then, as we were discussing what we're going to talk of, we were like, "Why are we even doing this live? We've spoken about this many, many
Multiple
times
times, yeah.
already." So it seems like people still don't know what is the importance of supplements. So I'm back in Pune today, super jet lagged because my flight got in at 6 in the morning, and supplements helped me with that. I'll actually talk about the stuff that I'd taken with me to Dubai, thanks to Suyash. And yeah, so Suyash, goli ya khana, the importance of supplement. Actually, you know what? Because maybe sometimes some of the people who are watching this might be entirely new. They might have not heard us speak before about this.
Right.
What are supplements? Like, can you just define the word supplements for people who might be
See,
watching this for the first time?
okay, thank you, Mugdha, for introducing me. Supplements is just, like as the word implies, it's an additional part of our diet, right? So, whatever we are getting from food, it's great. It's just to, add onto it and make sure that whatever nutrient our body requires or our body wants to fulfill, to add on and to make sure it becomes complete. So we're just supplying those nutrients to a body to make sure our all the functioning of the body is working optimally, and our all biochemical processes are working fine, smoothly, and we are able to get through the day and perform at our optimal task, like making sure our functioning is in code. So
Yeah, thanks, Suyash. For those of you who don't know who Suyash is the head of our supplements vertical. Every supplement that's come out of iThrive is basically Suyash's formulation and design, and they're absolutely brilliant supplements. And it's not just iThrive supplements, right? Like in terms of client supplement protocols and everything. Also, Suyash is the one who kind of identifies the latest and greatest and does constant. He dreams of supplements. Also, I'm pretty sure about
yeah.
that. We named his daughter also protein. So that is who Suyash is. So for those of you who are watching this, it's really a great opportunity for you to ask your questions about supplements. We can see questions in the chat. It's interactive this session, so please ask. You'll have access to this man's knowledge. Um, um, and like you rightly said, so your supplements are things that you need as an add-on, right? Like you can't obviously survive on supplements,
Definitely.
but your diet doesn't always give you everything you need. Like vitamin D, it's cloudy in India, right? Like right now,
Yeah,
it's in 3 months of just clouds. Where are you going to get the quality of sun exposure you need to make the amount of vitamin D you need? And then you do need to supplement with it. Magnesium, no matter which part of the world
exactly.
you travel, our food and our water is super magnesium depleted. So we need magnesium. So whatever food and water and your environment can't give you, you need to bring that in terms of raw material for your body to function well as supplements, right? So
Yeah,
that is
definitely.
what supplement is. It's not main food. Yeah.
And even like if you compare today's food in in past 50 years, how it has changed dramatically. Even the nutrient density of those food have tremendously dropped because of the use of excessive fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, and a lot of genetically modification happened after green revolution. So that is the reason why we are getting so less nutrients in today's era, especially from the food we eat. And it isn't because a lot of clients do ask, right, if I'm eating these many foods,
Yeah.
these variety of foods, why should I even take supplements? And that's what they need to understand, right? It is not only you're getting those nutrients, it's how fast your body is utilizing those nutrients. And especially like the things you're doing day to day, like if my day is full of maybe tasks today, maybe 8 to 10 hours I'm working in a stressful environment, my nutrients will be utilized around 100 to 200% in a faster rate than a normal day
Wow.
who's not doing anything, right?
Really, I didn't
If
know that is the rate at which you need extra
Yeah,
nutrients.
definitely, and that's why whenever there is a disease or dysfunction happening in the body, the rate of utilization of nutrients is so fast that it gets depleted, and we see in the blood reports as well, right? So many of nutrients being depleted and
Yeah,
deficiency
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for a lot of our clients.
So I didn't
So
notice like 100, 200 times. I knew that diseases and states of dysfunction actually increase your nutrient needs, but I didn't notice this
yeah,
dramatic. Like,
because when I was researching why all the Western brands have there's many of RDA multiplication done in their nutrients, and that was the reason. Two things: one is the rate it gets utilized. Second thing, the absorbability. So if the absorption of a regular person might be happening on a good level, but if someone has a gut dysfunction, or if someone has a certain health dysfunction, definitely the absorption will hamper there, right? So for that to need the nutrient, there is higher number of recommended dietary allowances, and lots of nutrients being added to it to make sure that they're being absorbed better. And even like besides that, a lot of other things like the exercise, the toxins, pollutions we've been surrounded with, also like if you see how stressed we are today in comparison to last 5 years, even after post COVID itself, definitely like the nutrients which we
So
require is much
there is an
much
increased
higher.
need for basic nutrients itself.
Yes.
I mean, ideally, if we were living in the mountains, drinking spring water, meditating every
Yes.
day, and like
In a
hunting for
full
a
good
food,
house. Yeah, exactly.
even then we still need some supplements. But given the kind of lives we live right now, where like you said, most people actually have some kind of an underlying dysfunction, which we see with
Right.
every single blood report. I've not
Yes.
seen a single report that
Same.
says, oh, this person isn't perfect. Like even
Totally
in
clean. Right.
my own blood work, it never is like, never are all the ranges optimal, right? Sometimes I
Yeah.
would have experience like some viral, and then I would see my WBC markers off. Sometimes some deficiency will be there. So it's not like, at any given point of time, someone is going to have absolutely optimal health. But we see people who have more and more dysfunctions going on. And then, like, we know that people who got COVID, there's long COVID, post COVID syndrome going
Right.
on. We know that people who got the vaccines, like, most people aren't talking about it, but we
Yes.
have been at the forefront of discussing this, that there are known side effects which needs extra nutrients. Your body needs more vitamin C, B complex, and all of that. So
Exactly.
given that, I think it's become absolutely necessary to supplement, even if you're not like, I actually sent out all our supplements to my family, right? My
Mm-hmm.
near and dear one, my sister, my dad, and my uncles and aunts. And I know they aren't really eating the healthiest of foods, right? Like my dad will
Right.
have curry biscuit and chai for breakfast in the morning.
Right.
But even,
Similarly, same at my household as well. So that's why I
yeah, but
it's
even then, I was like, okay, I can't do much around their diet. They are not going to change their dietary preferences
right,
overnight.
right,
But I send them this. I send them magnesium. I send them B complex, krill oil, vitamin D, K2. Every single one of them in my family, okay, like cousins and uncles and aunts, everyone is like, saying, I'm feeling my energy levels have gone up. I'm feeling better, sleeping better, digestion is better. Now, how is it like? If it's not the effect of supplements in
agreed,
one gene pool, what is it, right? Like, it's these are people living in different cities and different places. They are eating bad food.
right.
Despite that, our supplements are actually doing their magic on them, right? And I think that itself is a case for this extra nutrients. Like, you need these. Your body is going to just be happy when you receive these nutrients.
Exactly, and that's where whenever a client or a student is not convinced, I ask them to start taking that, and then
Yeah,
you yourself will realize how it will make a difference in your life, right? And similarly, like this is something which I often talk, especially like today morning itself. I got a call with one of my she's my mentor as well. I would not like to say the name because of the confidentiality, but she literally told me that my like steroids for respiratory health has been reduced because of magnesium,
wow.
only magnesium nutrient, that's it. So that she realized today, and she was like at an aha moment, and she was so delighted, and she said me, that I just wanted to say that I don't want to write it, that's why I called you. Maybe I'll give testimonial some after some time, but like she
That's
actually wants.
beautiful actually. And how do you feel like being the person who formulated this magnesium powder? It's really, guys, like I'm telling you, I have been
uh,
working with supplements since 2017, since the first time I got into functional medicine, and I've like ordered the best of the imported ones. When I was in Toronto, I used to buy really good quality supplements, right? And there is nothing that I've experienced like our magnesium. I don't know what magic it has. It's like our first supplement that came out of
Exactly.
our little supplement baby factory.
Yeah,
But
whatever we
it's,
are trying to create.
it's really, every single person has reported like the energy levels go up, they sleep better. And I think last month I put this also, like, you buy this
Money back
magnesium
guarantee,
supplement with my
yeah.
code. If you don't feel a difference, I'll return your money back to you, right? Like that
Right.
much I believe in our magnesium. And I'm seeing, so last week, right before I went to Dubai, and I'd done a live about this, like how I stopped my cold in its tracks. Now, this viral that's going on, most people are experiencing it for 2 3 days. Even Chaya Maushi, who works here, right, like our the housekeeping person, she's sick, and that 3 day thing just got shortened into a 12-hour period because I took extra B complex. So instead of the two that we have put on a bottle, right, I took two in the morning, two in the night. Then I took vitamin D. I took like pills, five of our liquid filled capsules. This one, right, I took this five
Yeah.
of them. I took extra magnesium, and I took one probiotic. And like, of course, I did the echinacea and the zinc lozenges also, but it went like in 12 hours my system,
Amazing.
because I wanted to travel. Like, Thursday I had to leave for Dubai, right? I was like, I can't get sick,
Right.
like I can't even show a symptom of having a cold, then quarantine me at the airport, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So I just recovered really fast, and I think it's such a big, it's completely underestimated how basic raw nutrients can play a big role in overall health and like just recovery also.
Yeah, definitely. Like even like just taking them regularly, you see amazing effects itself, and a lot of different functions. Even sometimes clients sort of say that they are not seeing the visible or a physical difference on that, but what they see is they actually see the difference in their biochemistry and cellular
Mm.
level. And after
Mm.
2 months, 2.5 months, then when we show them their post-protocol report, and that's where they realize the difference, and that's where the dysfunction starts to like become better, and that's where they realize. So
Yeah, Padma Shri is saying iThrive magnesium is
yeah.
before anything else. It's way agreed. Okay, there's a question from Ankush Suyash. What are the supplements which we can take without prior consultation? And it's an important question because a lot of
Yeah.
people like things like iodine, selenium, and all. It's best you do your blood work and then take your supplements. But this is a good question you can answer.
So generally, what we have seen with our patients in their blood work, that there are 4 to 5 essential nutrients which almost everyone needs and almost everyone are deficient
Yeah.
into. Number one being magnesium, second being your vitamin D3, and then third being your of course zinc, fourth being your B complex, and five being your omega threes. Okay. So ideally, these five anyone can take, even like it doesn't need prescription. These are the nutrients which everyone are falling short of, especially whenever whatever diet they are on, and they can simply start with them in that dose. The dosage will depend upon what function, like what function you're trying to fulfill. so
Right, right.
so I cannot recommend very ideally what best you can do is you can see at the back of the pack the directions. So directions are easily written there. So if you want a general dosage, you can easily go through that, and you can easily consume based on that direction of the use of the particular supplement.
Cool. Padma Shri has a question. Probiotic supplements and acne in teenagers. Tell me they help. My son needs to hear it.
It definitely helps.
And we're not just saying it because you asked us to say it. Padma
Yes.
Shri, it does.
I'll
I
also
don't
tell like the scientific reason behind that, right? There are
see
specific.
this. I mean, Suyash, you can go your geek science thing, but I just want to show a demo, right? Like, I had this
Acha.
little thing that came up. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely like I don't have acne normally, right? But this pimple had shown up. Then I did this, and I did acromencia,
Okay. Okay.
and it just flattened out. Like nothing happened after that, right? So that is physical proof, but you can tell us the scientific
Yeah,
reason.
so there are different gut bacteria which are needed to make sure that see acne. If you see its root cause, it could be because of maybe hormonal changes, but its secondary reasons is of course pathogen or infection, those
And I
things,
think
right?
streptococcus is the primary
Yes.
reason for acne, right? Especially
Exactly,
facial
and
cyst.
that's where our spore-based strains. So we have also added 3 spore-based strains in our formulation, and that's where we make sure that those even those any kind of bacteria viruses can get easily be eradicated, and of course it helps with establishing a gut microbiome, which again helps you with
Okay,
acne.
I think we have a lot of questions around probiotics. Are probiotic supplements that are not stored under refrigeration still effective?
It will be still effective, but only thing is they might be less potent. Okay, so if
Okay,
you see every probiotic come with a different CFU, which is your colony
right.
forming unit, which means it has a specific number of billions of cells in it. Okay, So whenever we keep it without refrigeration, what happens is, due to heat, they can start to die off. The die off chain definitely starts. But what you can do best is, of course, again, as I said, you can put it in refrigerator for long time purpose. Let's say, if I need to use it more than a month, okay, so then I will be keeping it in the refrigerator. But if I need to use only for a month, then definitely I'll use it by the month. I don't need to be. So if I need to store for the next 6 months, definitely
And how does
refrigerator.
one test for the whether the probiotics are live? I mean, this is not a question anyone asked, but I think it's important information that we should share. How do you test if the cultures in your probiotic are still alive or not?
Yeah, so the best way and very very easy way is, the way we used to form a curd, the
Mhm.
traditional method which we used to do, to form a curd. So what you can do is, you can simply warm lukewarm your milk, and then you can just open the capsule and add all the powder in that, and
Does
then
it have to
just,
be raw milk or is the packet pasteurized milk okay?
no, pasteurized milk will also do.
It's
It
okay.
doesn't,
So it's
yeah,
okay if it's
perfectly fine.
pasteurized. Basically, the lactose is what we want to use.
Yes, and we want to see that whether, how, on the what is the rate of this they're multiplying, and then how well formed the curd is, as an outcome. So that's,
And like for me, another question is, see, if you just leave milk outside, also it's still going to curdle, right?
yes,
So when you
yes,
use a probiotic capsule, like when I used to do a lot of this fermented probiotics, na kefir and all of that,
right,
one
right.
marker I would use also is the smell and the texture and
Texture, yeah,
so
taste as
like
well, right?
use your senses, right? So if it is
Agree.
smelling off, then there's a very high chance that it's actually not the live cultures from your
Mhm.
probiotic that fermented. It could just be some wild thing that got this thing. And if it's becoming
Right.
slimy, then again you don't want
Mhm.
that, right? So it should be like smelling sour and it should look like
Uh,
not slimy, but
a perfectly formed curd, basically.
yeah.
Like I just, I
Thank you.
simply, I
Yeah, I
just,
think that's a good test of your probiotic to see if it's effective or not, even if it's not under refrigeration. I personally saw, like Padmashri, I saw this with my skin, right? There was like this pimple. The last Thursday shoot that we had, you'll see this nice thing that had risen up, and then it became full pachet. I'm very happy with the probiotics for doing
great,
that.
great.
Um, Someone saying, Kaivan doctor is saying, more details on your supplements. What details are you looking for? Okay,
So if
he's
you want
asking.
information, you can go on iThrive.shop, and
No,
then you
I
can
think that
see.
they're looking for hypothyroid and Hashimoto
Acha,
supplements.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So ideally, again, I would not suggest. We'll need the specific ranges, right? What is the TSH? What is free T3, free T4, and if there are any antibodies. Based on that, we can recommend. But the best way to start is making sure that you're having all the essentials one, which I previously said, like magnesium, zinc, vitamin D3, B complex, and omega 3. At least that will help to put like base help to establish a base foundation, and then you can also add another important nutrient for thyroid gland, which is iodine. Okay, so iodine either you can have through kelp
But
powder.
iodine is better to test, na, Suyash?
It's always good, but I, unfortunately, in India, like, it's very hard
No, no,
to
I'm
get.
not saying like the iodine test is not there, but I'm saying
Right.
like even your TSH, free T3, free T4, because
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much iodine then can offset the
can offset.
selenium.
Agree totally. So that's the thing. That's what we need, the parameters to see, look at it, and then we can
Yeah, but I think basics of like what Suyash said, na, like you get your essentials in place because those are the base nutrients anyway your thyroid needs, right? Your B complex, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, and we have an essentials combo kit on the iThrive shop page, so
right,
you can
website as
just
well.
go and buy that, and that will take care of your basics. And then for deeper intervention with see, Hashimoto is an autoimmune condition. So there you have to actually go and find out what is triggering autoimmunity. So no supplement can fix autoimmunity. You have to eliminate that reason for the immune system flare up from the root. But hypothyroid can just happen because of low iodine, selenium, B complex, any of those, or even protein. Like if you're not getting enough protein.
Yeah.
Right? I think wait, there are more questions, and I'll share my experience with our magnesium and jet lag. Okay, how do we check purity of supplements?
So it's very simple. Like, if you don't want to go for lab test, what easily thing you can do is, I generally tell, there are three ways one can easily know how pure a supplement is. Number one is, you need to be aware about the bioavailable ingredient in it. Let's say, if you see, if you turn back the supplement, and if you see the nutrient facts information there, what kind of nutrient it is and in which bioavailable form. That's the
Hmm.
thing you need to have a clarity on. And if you don't know, then you need to research, or you need to attend master classes or our academic course to get more details on that. And then the second way is to see other ingredient section. Ideally, as a thumb rule, I tell to my clients and students as well that there should not be more than 3 to 4 other ingredients added to it, a supplement, to make sure that it's clean. So ideally, just basic ingredient like silica, magnesium stearate, or and the capsule. Just I think that's 2 to 3 ingredients work sufficiently well. A lot of different brands have talc, colors, preservatives and additives added to it, but that's the thing which you need to look and see whether it's clean or not. Third thing, what you can need check is for a certificate, whether that brand or whether that supplement is being certified with from a third party lab certified, or um, a good quality consumer lab or informed choice recommended supplement. So I think that's the way.
Okay.
And besides that, there are a lot of lab tests, right? I don't want to get into this detail right now because it will become a whole different session.
And ideally, like, see, if a company is really careful about its quality, these tests, like we do, right? We get it tested from third party, and then we mention
Yes.
these results,
So
right?
third party lab testing, heavy metal testing, and then specific bioavailable form testing.
Yeah.
Let's say if I take an example of CoQ10, right? It has a ubiquinone form. So we need to test for that ubiquinone form, as well as we need to test for heavy metals as well. So making
Ah.
sure that it is pure.
All right. There's a question, since you spoke of CoQ10. Can CoQ10 supplements help with athletic performance?
Yes, definitely. Like so, Mugdha, you also know, right, how much CoQ10 is important for a mitochondrial function, right? The powerhouse of the cell, right?
Like
So
basic energy production itself.
exactly. So it helps to lighten up that, and athletes need that energy utilization. Also, important thing what I would like to tell here is that athletes have a more energy utilization, and lot of mitochondrial depletion happens during their especially tournaments, especially for endurance athletes. That's where CoQ10 helps amazingly, to helps improve and enhance their performance.
You know what? One is, of course, these athletes, right? But I'm also thinking, like people, let's say someone like Avinash, they're in their 40s, and most often they've already gone to their doctors when their cholesterol levels were high and they've been put on statins. Now, like,
Right.
I'm just speaking more from like Avinash's, the people that I see, right? They're
Yeah.
runners, they're cyclists, they're swimmers, and lots of them are in this age group. So they might not be pro athletes in terms of like they're competing for gold medals for India, but they're still doing a lot of athletic activity, and a lot of them are actually already on statins. And
Hmm.
statins are notorious for depleting
Definitely.
CoQ10, right? Like
Okay.
they
Right.
actually deplete, making that CoQ10 only your body takes effort. In that, you
Happen.
take a medicine that's
Exactly.
depleting it. It's really going to ruin your mitochondrial performance. So I think if you're in your 40s and you're on any kind of statins and you're doing some activity on a daily basis, you should be taking CoQ10.
Definitely.
Without doubt, you see how it is going to make you feel. Like your performance itself is going to change. Um, what I experienced, na, so you made these really cool magnesium mini
Yes,
travel
yes. No,
sachets.
yeah.
They were a lifesaver because I didn't want to carry this big dabba with me, because I had to bring back other
Mm-hmm.
supplements which we kind of got from the US, which we
Right.
won't talk about too much. But anyway, I wanted to take something. So, guys, Suyash and team have come up with these single serve magnesium sachets. And for me, I actually didn't take all of. I didn't even take my DHA and adrenal cortex and all as long as, because I forget to do it. But I was taking magnesium every day, and
Mm.
I didn't have jet lag. I didn't have fatigue. We were in the desert, so one day I went to the, like, I wanted to go to the beach, and there was a sandstorm, uh,
Okay.
which you're like, okay, what the, like, it doesn't matter. So we went to the beach. It was incredibly hot because it's summer there.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were doing magnesium and, like, magnesium in water along with a little salt, I actually didn't get dehydrated. And one of the biggest risks, like being in that kind of heat in the desert out on the beach, is dehydration, right? Like I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
headaches. I didn't have any dehydration impact. I didn't have any jet lag. I didn't have headaches or any of that, right? Like my body just adapted to the circadian cycle, like my circadian cycle adapted to the sun there, like that. Like in the past, I've seen whenever I've gone out of India where the time difference is there, it takes time for my body to adapt. I think the magnesium was a differentiator this time. And even today that happened, right? Like we barely had any sleep, but I'm here, like only my eyes are showing that there is jet lag.
Great.
But I
Great.
think this helped, like this helps with jet lag. I don't know exactly how. Maybe it replenished electrolytes, or
Mm-hmm. I think it's more to do with electrolyte itself because
Yeah, I think the electrolyte
yeah,
balance kind of got maintained
100%.
despite travel and despite different temperatures and all of that. So, yay to
So
our
power
single
of supplements.
person.
Yeah.
Are we retailing this or this is just for like internal
So
use?
right now it's for internal use. We will soon launching a travel pack as well
Yeah, it's damn
within
cool, man. Like
sachet.
that
Yeah.
powder, otherwise carrying the dabba and then the scoop and everything is a little pain. Like
So
even
there
oxygen we
was,
can do, right?
like when I was traveling, I got an idea, like, why to travel these, like take these heavy boxes and travel,
Yeah,
and that's where I thought about, creating a
because
travel
I just
pack.
needed 4 days worth of these, and I took 4 sachets, and they worked really well.
Yeah.
So nice. What other? Yeah, this is a really good thing. Please come up with iThrive equivalents of Qualia Mind and Qualia Focus. Yes, Padma Shri.
Try our best. For sure.
That is our, like, not just these but even these really nice mushrooms, right, like lion's
Hmm.
mane and
Nice.
reishi and all
Right.
of these really cool mushrooms that are
Super potent.
neurogenerative, right,
Right.
that can improve
Exactly.
cognitive function. We want to bring those in also. But yeah, so yes, we both were like, what are we going to talk about? We've told people 100 times
Right.
that supplements are important, and we still had so much to talk about. So I'm glad we
So
did this. So guys,
definitely, yeah.
take nutrient supplements. They serve purposes beyond what you might even imagine. Like I didn't know jet lag could be fixed by magnesium.
So I also, like, I would just like to add on to this that,
Yeah.
I also say to whomsoever who don't have trust on supplements, or who are trying that first time, just try it for 90 days, and then you decide that whether you want to continue that or not, and then you see the difference, right? So you yourself will know how difference it will create. But of course, those 90 days you need to have a high quality and good one supplement, right? So if you're taking any other over the counter one which might not work, so there's a high possibility of being,
Like
not
even zinc, right? Our zinc is so different from this zinconia that you get over the counter.
yeah, so we will try to make sure that, have a balancing of zinc plus copper, right? Which copper doesn't get depleted. So that kind of intelligence, that kind of thing which we need to bring in our supplement, and that's how we'll see our vision. Right? We have very very high and optimistic mindset, in making sure that we need to reach on very top of the level when it comes to supplements, especially bioavailable forms, quality wise, and our vision is to make sure that, like, millions of people can heal faster through that, right? So
All right.
best.
Thank you, Suyash, for sparing your time for this.
Always
And guys,
welcome.
take
Loved it.
supplements. Yeah, don't resist them. तुम लोग मतलब you don't think twice before taking medicines. Like paracetamol, crocin, which people take for
Hmm.
fever, that can go and accumulate in the liver and cause liver damage. So many of all these sardi khasi wali medicines, right? Cetirizine and all people take that can actually cause depressive symptoms. Nobody investigates medicines as much as they'll ask us, oh, yeah,
Hmm.
vitamin D, will it have any side effects? So don't make me and Suyash come back and talk about importance of
Again and
supplementation
again.
this
Yeah.
time. Let this be our last talk and then take all your supplements again. All right.
So गोलियां खाना, मतलब दोनों, पहले खाना देन गोली. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah.
We'll make that your timeline.
So,
All right. Bye
so
bye.
guys, take care. Bye bye.